Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this tweet that I did is a takeoff. One time Uphold had posted this tweet: XRP just hit $1,000. What do you do next? I'm not saying it's going to hit $1,000. I'm just saying it's a fun little thing to pose every once in a while, just to watch the different things people say they will do. As you can see, I've emailed X support probably 7 times and have not gotten a reply to be able to access my account on my computer. I still have access on my phone, but you can't see replies. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I love everything X is doing, but it's ridiculous that their support. I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, it's a fun question to ask every once in a while. Now, John Deaton held a Spaces, and what he did is he was trying to get some of the more level-headed Bitcoin guys to come in the Spaces. They're not exactly level-headed, but some of them were more level-headed than others. And one of the things that was said in there was, and I think they were referring to states, that states would not add an asset to it, a strategic reserve unless there was 750 billion market cap. And this guy here's making the point that XRP would need to be at $15 to reach that market cap. Okay, so, which I don't think anybody listening to me doesn't think that couldn't happen in short order. So I thought that was interesting. But here's the other interesting thing: all this stuff, all the screaming and whining you're hearing out of the Bitcoin maxis like Jack Mallers, comes from this right here. Scott Melker, the wolf of all streets, he tells what happened right here.
Said digital asset stockpile rather than strategic reserve. I happen to be in some chats and obviously have my eyes and ears on the ground, and I heard people saying things, some Bitcoiners saying certain things on Twitter that were not factual from the chats. And what was happening behind the surface was that it was very clear that XRP was being considered, and they were freaking out. Right. And so I actually shared that.
Why are they freaking out? I'm not freaking out about Bitcoin being in a strategic reserve with XRP. Why are they freaking out? They're freaking out because Bitcoin is nothing more than a freaking Ponzi scheme, and they need more money to keep coming in. They need to have something that gives them an advantage over all other digital assets. That's what they've had with this commodity designation monopoly all this time. They know it's coming to an end. That's the reason they're terrified, but we're not.
And I think I started this madness, whether intentionally or not. But I shared a tweet saying, hey, don't shoot the messenger, but I can tell you that XRP is being strongly considered for the strategic reserve. Factually, right? And I'm not going to divulge my sources, and that's what kind of sparked the Jack Mallers emergency, press conference in the Dave Portnoy style. And
what these clowns don't realize is Trump's a negotiator, and I could totally see Trump sitting down with Ripple and saying, look, if you'll contribute 1 billion XRP or 5 billion XRP out of your stash into this thing, then yeah, we'll do it. I'll bet you money it's a negotiation. Plus the $125 million SEC fine, they can send that in with XRP too.
It's sort of the major panic here. But I think it's very clear. And so I think we're just seeing that very, very clearly. Do I believe XRP will necessarily become a reserve asset? I don't know. If you look at many people's interpretation of digital asset stockpile was to take the same approach as they're taking potentially with the Silk Road and Bitfinex. To my knowledge, the United States in all these criminal cases has not actually taken much XRP, so they would have to buy it, right? So when you talk to people about this strategic stockpile, I think symbolically it's more likely the United States government, as we said, holds what they have. And that starts the game theory of other countries having to stockpile these assets. Right now, they don't have XRP, so it's a pretty...
That's what the Bitcoiners need. They need game theory. Let me write that down. They need game theory to kick in, so that the U.S. government forces other countries to have a reason to buy Bitcoin. See this, if you don't have a use case, these are the type things you have to think about. That's why Michael Saylor is on a marketing campaign, and they're all going state by state trying to get Bitcoin reserve because they don't have a use case.
It will take a pretty aggressive lobby, I think, from XRP to have the United States actually purchase it. Because I would handicap personally us having some sort of stockpile at 95% because we already are holding the assets. I would put it sub 10% that the United States starts buying any digital assets, personally.
They don't understand. Ripple already has a strategic reserve, and they can deploy that strategic reserve from that escrow how they want. They could easily contribute to a U.S. strategic reserve. Think about it. If you're Ripple and your XRP, let's say it's worth $5, but Trump says, hey, you give us 3 billion of those XRP into the strategic reserve, which will trigger all these other countries having to add to theirs too. But if you donate it to us, I'm going to help the price of that XRP because everybody else is going to be needing to buy it from you. And all of a sudden, you've got XRP game theory. That's one of the reasons they're really terrified. I've been blocked, that Layla Halpern or whatever, she blocked me this week, and I've done nothing but spit facts about Bitcoin versus XRP. In Ryan Selkis's case, he doesn't like it when I start showing old videos of him not bragging, but trying to cover his butt about how he sold Bitcoin, and he had information that Mt. Gox had been hacked and sold his Bitcoin, and then a few minutes later puts out a press release to try to cover his butt. He doesn't like that at all. And I did. But this is what it's all about right here, folks. This is what it's all about. And it's not my words. I can prove it. This is what they've done. The Bitcoin people, first, they wanted all other digital assets to be declared securities. Michael Saylor said it on video, which I will play for you in a second. Second, they wanted only Bitcoin ETFs. Saylor said that in the same video. Now they want an only Bitcoin strategic reserve. That's Jack Mallers. They're about to be 3-time losers and are on the wrong side of history. The Bitcoin maxi fanatics are the enemy of all American crypto. And I'm not referring to most of the Bitcoin holders. Most of them aren't these lunatics. Make American crypto great again. I copied Trump and David Sachs and Elon Musk and Bo Hines. So here he is. You don't have to take my word for it. This is the first part. He's referring to the Ethereum ETF, and then he is talking about how all those are going to be called securities. So he wanted it.
When Ethereum is not,
he wanted a monopoly. That's what he wanted.
When Ethereum is not going to be approved, sometime this summer, it'll be very clear to everyone that Ethereum is deemed a crypto asset security, not a commodity. After that, you're going to see that Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Ripple, Cardano, everything down the stack is just a crypto asset security unregistered. None of them will ever be wrapped by a spot ETF. None of them will be accepted by Wall Street. None of them will be accepted by mainstream institutional investors as crypto assets. This is the one universal consensus accepted institutional grade crypto asset in the world.
All it was the government gave this thing a regulatory monopoly all these years, and they met with the Satoshis. The government rigged this game to this point. Donald Trump is going to unrig it. Michael Saylor, they put him on Forbes, and Good Morning Crypto is showing what's happened to other people that were put on Forbes. Let me make another point, folks. Think about what you've seen over the last 4 years. Think about when Trump's in office. All right, so now Trump is coming in and he's pro-crypto. But when he's been in office, they don't put his wife on Time Magazine and make her look good. They did it with Barack Obama's wife. They did it with Joe Biden. They do that kind of stuff with Joe Biden's wife. But who controls that media? The same deep state people that want to control the narrative. So when you see them putting Michael Saylor on the cover of the magazine, what does that tell you? The same bad guys are for Bitcoin. The question's why. And when you ask the question against the backdrop of knowing that the government met with the 4 Satoshis, that why becomes a little more devious. Now, here's another child talking about bashing XRP.
I see the downside less in terms of impacting Bitcoin in particular and more pertaining to other altcoins, specifically Ripple.
I don't really have to play you the whole clip. It's nauseating. But I do want to make the point, because these people, they're in way out of their league when they're trying to deal with the XRP army, because we have all the facts. So when this guy, his name's Anthony Georgides, something like that, when he goes on and starts running his mouth on Yahoo Finance about XRP and Ripple, and just doesn't even know what he's talking about, Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, comes out with this. Anthony Georgides, who can be seen in the video saying Ripple and XRP have fundamental flaws, happens to be an advisor where Bill Hinman's son, whose name is Nate Hinman, is a director of enterprise technology. Right there. These people are all, it's one big spider web, folks. And then John D, this came out today, the parents of Sam Bankman-Fried, these people have some gall. They're exploring seeking a pardon from Donald Trump. And John Deaton says, are they on drugs? Because they would be sitting in a jail cell next to him. They should be sitting in a jail cell next to him. They would have been if Elizabeth Warren and the Democrats hadn't been in charge, because they were their buddies. He was their buddies. So don't hold your breath, Sam Bankman-Fried. Look at this. Trump coin has more utility than Bitcoin. Several websites selling Trump-branded products have started to accept Trump meme coin for payment in an effort to win over more of the president's supporters. That is classic. Okay, in DAIXRP.com, oh, there's some wow stuff coming, folks, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.